Welcome to What We Watched, Doing OK's entertainment podcast. What are we reviewing today, Olga?
Today we're talking about American Horror Story 1984, Episode 3, entitled Slashdance.
Let's get into it. I'm Dan.
I'm Olga.
And Slashdance. It was a good episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that the first 20 minutes were very much like a first act. I was still sort of getting into it, like not quite sure where it would go, but the latter 2/3 really pulled it off.
Yeah, I think it was a really solid episode for the twists, right? And they're doing a good job of reminding me what's good about American Horror Story, right?
Yeah.
Like the fun intensity, because like I think what we were both sort of saying when we were watching the first sort of 20 minutes was I was like, this is a good slasher thing, but it feels like it should be leading up to the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
And
It's episode
it's
3 of
clearly
10.
not doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was great for reveals for both the nurse and for Montana by the end of it.
Yeah, that was a nice little cliffhanger there.
Yeah, very cool.
Good job.
Again, it's like if you put effort into it, you probably guess some of these things, but
we were not putting any, despite what these like weekly reviews may indicate, we're not putting effort into predicting things.
We're just having fun with it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to say that it's definitely fun at this point.
Yes.
I'm definitely having a good time.
I'm on board for the season.
Yeah. They've officially made me, interested in watching almost all of the characters. I loved Trevor's moment with the guns.
That was so stupid, and it worked so well.
And then, I mean, the biggest character work I would say here was for Ray.
Oh, yeah. It was really his episode.
His and the nurses.
Yes. Fake Rita.
Yeah, fake nurse lady. Let's talk about Ray.
Yes.
So, we can't escape the fact that they basically killed the black guy first.
Yeah.
I know, people can be like, well, a ton of people died before him. Well, he was the first, actually main character, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely the first of, the teen group.
They're the ones who were this ensemble that was introduced to us from the get-go. And there were, 5 of them, and now down to 4.
I know they like to play with the tropes or, point out the tropes, and so maybe they did it on purpose. I don't feel like they said anything with it, but all that said, I think it was a great death. I think it was a fun episode.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, it was really the right mixture of campy and
this episode was very campy, but campy in a very good way.
And they did the great slasher thing, which is they made me want to see him get killed, right?
Right.
They made him complex, and that his backstory, I think it was an interesting mix where it's you expect him to just have pushed the kid way too far, but he actually was the one who took the kid out and was I'm going to give you 10 minutes. He was never perfect, right? He was still going to haze him and everything,
right?
But he was one of the better ones, right?
Right.
And
then you were saying how they didn't really say anything or do much with the whole in terms of his race and kind of trying to justify that.
Yeah.
I feel like the closest they came to justifying it was in that scene where specifically that pledge was Asian and he's African American. So being we have to work twice as hard as they do. They don't specifically go because I'm a black man, but that's the subtext.
Yeah, well, I guess what I'm saying is they didn't really call themselves out on the fact that they killed the black guy first. I mean, I'm not going to say that Scream 2 did it great or anything, but at least they had a whole big talk about how we killed the black guy first, and then they did it anyway. At least they were being knowing about it and talking about what the problems are and then doing it, right? Because you're still doing it because you're still paying homage to what came before.
Yeah.
They didn't really do that, but at the same time, like I said, so they made him complex there. You understood why he wouldn't want to go to the police, like you were sort of hinting at before too. And then the fact that I was like, originally I was like, oh, falling down was kind of silly, but then the fact that they doubled it where he like helped him kill him again.
Yeah. And it was really sad too, of being like, no, he tried to save him.
Yeah. So I feel like that all was like good to make him a full-rounded, like interesting person, but then they made him like a double coward where he like basically threw people under the bus multiple times, and so I was like, okay, I'm ready for his head to get chopped off.
Yeah. But also, like, first of all, playing golf with his head while it continues to ride on a scooter. I wish that maybe this is too cheesy, but this is a cheesy show.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that, like, the mode of his death was tied to his story more. Like, what if there was a cliff and after having his head chopped off, the body in the scooter goes off a cliff?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't die from going off the cliff. And then there's a
big explosion from the bottom that's like over the top.
Well, that would be too much, Daniel.
No, I definitely enjoyed the mode of death and the like how it was shocking and not shocking at the same time. Yeah. But I get where you're coming from. That would have been cool too.
I mean, I like the fact that, well, I don't like this, but that fake Mr. Jingles, the poor like pathetic kid was the one tossed into the spike pit.
Yeah, Trevor, you gotta look before you use those guns. They're dangerous.
Right.
Yeah. I thought
Mr. Jingles had to come out from somewhere.
Yeah. The like fake Jingles thing at the beginning, I was like a little eye rolly.
Especially where it started off with the flaming bag of dog shit. I mean, excuse me, he was collecting his own human shit.
But I guess what I was gonna say, so like I felt like it was just like a little eye rolly at the beginning because of the fact that it was just like, how can we introduce more random people this night so that we can kill off random people? But then the fact that it led to the other kid, who the fact that Jingles let him be, I thought was great and
he
interesting.
Like sympathized with him.
Yeah, and then the fact that they accidentally killed him, that made it worth it to me.
Yeah, maybe part of it of like killing so many randos is like to mitigate so that Ray isn't the only death in the episode.
Well, I mean, this is probably the episode with the most killings, right? Because we also kill off the other nurse, the real nurse.
Yeah.
The
so three fake Jingles and the real nurse
three
Rita.
Fake Jingles, yeah. I think that could be it. I mean, certainly. I mean,
to serve multiple masters.
Yeah.
But...
I think it helped that there were so many deaths in this episode, but at the same time, I wish that maybe they'd started with a bigger group of a main group, of the counselors, because I do think that killing off like people who just show up out of nowhere it can be fun, but like it would be nice to have a little bit more of like even the fact that they killed last week, they killed the
porn producer.
Well, yeah, that was good too.
That was the one that was making me laugh. Like random funny. Character introduced, taken care of.
I was gonna say that the fact they killed off the psychologist or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that to me was actually kind of good because it's like he at least had more of a purpose, and I was surprised that they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but then we see her back, and it's like I sympathize with her. Like she didn't deserve to die in the previous one. It's not like she deserves to die in this one, like retroactively from her behavior, but her whole thing of just being like, he's evil. Just pure evil.
Yeah.
There's nothing else but evil there, and I'm just like, that's not interesting as a stance.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be a polar opposite, like to put the two extremes of thinking where one is they're irredeemable and the other one is porn, high fructose corn syrup, and war in Asia.
Yeah. Yep. It's two different kinds of kooky.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the reveal of, what was her name? Nurse Rita?
Fake Rita.
Fake Rita. I feel like we got her actual name.
I think I heard like Dr. Chambers or something.
Let's just call her the surgeon. That's a reference to Prodigal Son.
Yeah. Well, also I was going to say like Mrs. Mindhunter.
Mindhunter.
We don't know her marital
Mind
status.
Mistress. So she clearly is a sort of a play on the idea of Mindhunter.
I mean, she literally talks about interviewing a bunch of serial killers
and being like, "Oh, I saw a spike during this time, and why would that happen?"
And they opened up only to me.
Yeah. So definitely, if you haven't seen Mindhunter, there's some fun play there. The thing I think is interesting, so obviously there was the reveal where she took out Brooke.
Right.
But do you think that now that we saw her, like, true backstory or whatever, do you think that that's real? Because I am still like, oh, is there a twist on top of the twist?
She could be still sort of fake. Like, she could be faking her PhD. I think the whole thing is that they say, like, she's like, I have my reasons for why she's interested in all this. Like, she could have just been traumatized or the child of killers or who knows, and, like, still faked a way in and studied it in her free time and somehow faked access to get to serial killers. But I'd almost at this point be disappointed if she's just, like, a PhD candidate.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, so no matter what, you're right. Like, we're going to get more backstory about her.
Right.
But do you think that her, like, motivations are what she's saying? Does she actually want to study him? And does she actually somehow, in a weird, messed up way, believe she's doing the right thing?
Probably.
Because, I mean, why take out Brooke? I guess because she doesn't want her to get the police?
Yeah, she doesn't want them to leave.
Yeah, that's interesting.
She needs to preserve the sanctity of the experiment.
Yeah, I kind of hope that's it. Plus, like, we get more of what made her unhinged.
Yeah, I think, and like you said, I think we will. Like, you don't go, I have my reasons, and just drop it. Yeah. Although I've said that before about American Horror Story.
Yeah.
And I've been disappointed. Not on any, like, podcast, just with you and in life, like, questioning, like, why didn't you explain this?
Yeah.
So we might not get an explanation.
We also set up the idea of Jingles didn't remember doing the killings.
Yeah.
But he certainly definitely has the killer in him, right?
And he stands by it. Like, when he sees the photo of Margaret in the newspaper, he says, like, I just want to kill her. Yeah. Like, it's driving me to this. So, you know, you had this theory about him not actually committing the massacre.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
Okay, maybe he didn't. Maybe he did commit it, but, you know, scientist lady, she's like, oh, I wonder, you know, maybe you did it for this reason, that reason.
Yeah.
I still think he was, like, entranced or somehow hoodwinked into doing it, and I still think Margaret is the one behind it.
I mean, we still have her with the Night Stalker, and we still have the element of, like, time travel spirit ghost here too.
And he also says the thing about, like, you can use God to explain away anything you do or whatever. It's like, I feel like she's going to be, like, one of the main ways that they talk, the meta narrative about slashers gets brought up, right? Because so much of the I don't know, mystique or mythos or whatever around slashers is about Christian values,
right?
As far as, like, oh, we're killing off the people if they have sex, if they do drugs, or, like, we're cleansing the earth of these, like,
impure souls.
Yeah, and the virgin is the one who survives and all that stuff. So, like, I could see it being that, like, he wanted to purify the camp or whatever, maybe because something happened. He also mentions trauma mixed in, so maybe something happened to her at the camp. Maybe one of the counselors did something to her or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Right.
But, yeah.
Could be justification.
Yeah. And what else do we want to talk about? We have the fact that Montana was revealed to be with the Night Stalker.
Richard and her. Man, Richard getting with the ladies.
Yeah. Are we going to have, like, a Margaret versus Montana battle?
Probably. I mean, yeah, they're also, again, the opposites of, like, a hedonist and
Puritan.
Yes, let's go with it. Yeah, I mean, why does Montana want to kill Brooke?
You think it's going to be tied into the backstory? If maybe, like,
her brother was her fiance, estranged brother.
Or the one that she supposedly slept with, like, the best man. Maybe she was with the best man, and she's like, you got him killed by sleeping with him. I know you actually slept with him, blah, blah, blah.
You're a liar.
Say something in that. At this point, I do think it would be kind of a fun thing if the twist with Emma Roberts is that there is no twist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, given Emma Roberts' history and everything, I think it would be kind of, in some ways, more interesting if she just was who she was. And
what are they going to do with her all season, though?
Yeah, it's a good question.
She just plays it straight. I really feel like, and kind of still hope that this entire season is in this night. Maybe with the exception of like one last episode or something.
Yeah.
1 or 2.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they have enough flashbacks that they can still like get you to other locations and things like that.
That's true.
I definitely think we're going to have twists and things with Emma Roberts, with Brooke, but I'm just like, I don't think they're going to have it be that she's the villain. Like,
yeah, I mean, they have to be playing with the final girl trope, though. Like, she's set up as the final girl already.
Yeah, I do think, I forget who it was who said in our comments last week, I feel like the biggest thing that they're going to do is that she did actually sleep with the guy.
I think she did.
Yeah, so they'll at least play with it that way by making she's not a virgin and all that. I liked Chet this episode. He had a hard time. The poor boy. And I liked that they brought
up his backstory with roids?
And I liked that they brought up the lunch lady because I was like,
you literally were like, they're just gonna leave the cafeteria lady, and then
they were like,
Matthew Morrison's Trevor was like, we have to get her, and it's like, oh, yeah, you and Trevor connected, and you got the guns too.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's not all he has, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy,
were you about to make that joke for yourself? Yes,
I was.
Let me take care of it, babe.
Thanks, dear. Humble I am. So thank you guys so much for watching.
God.
And please leave your thoughts in the comments below.
Or don't.
And I hope you're doing okay.
Bye.